Welcome back to the Vancouver Island Trail. We are headed out on our second section of this hike from Port Hardy to Woss. We did 2 rest days here in Port Hardy after completing the North Coast Trail in the first segment. Now we're headed out for the next one. In case you missed episode 1 of my Vancouver Island Trail series, Brian and I reached the northern terminus of the trail and officially started our thru hike. We hiked along the North Coast Trail through rugged coastlines over 5 days and then hiked into the town of Port Hardy on logging roads. So far we have hiked 97 kilometers, 60 miles, and have about 700 kilometers, 435 miles, remaining to hike all the way to the southern terminus in Victoria. This stretch from Port Hardy to Woss will eventually turn inland and take us away from the coastline and closer to the mountainous spine of the island. We've probably gone about 10k so far and feeling a little bit tired today, but overall feeling good. The route brought us through Fort Rupert, a Kwakiutl First Nation community, and we admired the art as we walked through. We've made it to the beach. We kept hearing whale breaths, but we never saw them. And now we're walking near the airport here for a while. We won't be on the beach for a few kilometers. And we saw a mother bear with 3 cubs. That was a little bit scary, but also very cool. And yeah, we've got about 12k to do today, so we're doing well. The coastline here is abundant with life. I've never seen this many salmon jumping all at once. Look at them all. There were also 8 bears hanging around the mouth of the river here. So we got to the mouth of the river there thinking that we might be able to go up to the bridge from there, but we heard from a couple people there were a bunch of bears there, including cubs, and we saw a couple of the cubs. And so we decided we're gonna backtrack to connect with the road to go over the bridge above the bears. And that's the huge difference in this trail compared to the Pacific Crest Trail last year is the route is much less defined. It's still kind of being workshopped as hikers provide info to the association. So it's a little bit more of a choose your own adventure style where you just go, check things out, see if it's passable, and then sort of rework your route accordingly. But we were chatting and the GPS route actually did pre-warn us about this to hit the road earlier than what we did, so we're backtracking now. I suspect we'll do an extra few K here and there when we need to backtrack. It's also one of the types of routes that you have to check your GPS a lot more often. I barely checked mine on the PCT, like maybe a couple times a day. Whereas here, you're probably doing it more like a couple times an hour. So you have to factor that into your battery usage as well. We've made it to the perimeter trail around the airport, and we were thinking this was going to be more of a road. But as you can see, it's totally overgrown. So it's kind of tough to push through this. This is the trail that I'm looking at right here. Let me show you. Ouch. The plants are prickly. This reminds me of Croatia. Ouchie. We made the decision to push past all this deadfall to get to the beach so we could hike the next 10-15k on beach. And this like 200-meter stretch has been incredibly challenging, climbing up and over logs, walking along logs, pushing our way through brush. Like, it's just wild how slow a couple hundred meters can be when there's no trail at all and you're just pushing through all this stuff. Whew, I'm sweating. Nice. We made it to the beach. Much smoother walking now. So our goal is to do probably another 10K or so. And we're just gonna try to stick to the beach as much as we can. We heard it's possible, so that's the plan. It has turned into such a beautiful evening. We have now seen 7 bears, which is not an exaggeration. Just today, we saw 6 cubs. Wait, 6, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, we've seen 8 bears. No, yeah, 8. Because we saw 6 cubs and 2 adults, so a lot of bear sightings today. We're just pushing our final kilometer to try to get to a water source tonight and then figure out where we're gonna camp. Good morning. We had a great sleep here, listening to the waves lapping. Today we're gonna be on the beach for 8K or so, and then the rest of the day on roads, highway and logging roads. So it'll be a bit different than yesterday. I wonder if we'll see as many bears. And we're gonna start making our way inland. I wonder, this might even be our last day on the coast of this hike, or maybe not total, but for a while. Start making our way inland towards Woss. So should be a good day. I grew up very used to seeing black bears. There are a lot of them on this island, but yesterday and today we have seen such an abundance of bears that even I was surprised. Today we have already seen this mum and cub, and we ended up seeing a few more bears later. It's really incredible to see how rich life is here for the animals. We made it to our inland trail. We're doing this for, I think, 2 or 3K. Super exciting moment. We just spotted our first Vancouver Island Trail emblem. Take a look. Now it feels official, like we're really on the Vancouver Island Trail.
Undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand.
We've hit the road now. We'll be on this for about 10K. We have made it to the world's largest burl. Look at how massive this is. It is humongous. This spruce burl was discovered by Macmillan Bloedel engineers who were surveying future logging roads at the head of the Benson River about 40 kilometers southwest from here. It was moved to its present location in 1976 by employees of this logging division. This burl was growing at the base of a 350-year-old spruce tree. The tree was 79.6 meters, 271 feet in height, and 1.8 meters, 6 feet in diameter at the cut of the burl. The weight of the burl, when it was moved, was 20,361 kilograms. That's 44,947 pounds, or 22 tons. All wood is attacked by various diseases and pathogens, including fungi and insects. Over the years, areas of decay and rot were developing throughout the burl. To prevent further decay, a layer of fiberglass was molded over the burl in 1997. This will increase the life of the burl to enable it to be enjoyed for years to come. Okay, so it looks this color because this is like dust from the dusty logging road. And then this is the fiberglass to protect the burl. And you can see here where it's been broken. That's the fiberglass. That's the burl inside. Burls are abnormal swellings of the main stem or branches and are among the most conspicuous of stem diseases. They vary considerably in size and in rare cases will reach a meter or more. They do not occur in sufficient abundance to warrant any management concern. Burls result from the following disturbance to the cambial layer. The cause of disturbance in most cases is unknown. So now you know. That's a burl. Okay, so we actually took like an hour break or so here for our rest. Bit more road, and then we are gonna be hitting, I think, some logging road and things like that. So time to get going. My legs are definitely achy. I'm not fully in trail shape yet. It's day 10. Usually after day 10, I start to feel in trail shape. So I'm hoping day 11 tomorrow, everything feels great. But we'll see. Okay, wait, need my poles. All right, see you later, burl.
Come a little closer. I wanna dance with you. Everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do.
We walked for maybe 3K and came to this lake because this is our first water source of the day, so we needed water. But it is so glorious that Brian decided to swim. I'm considering swimming, but we'll see. And then we've got like 8 or 9K to go still today. We have made it to camp and I'm exhausted. My legs are so tired and I was just feeling like sleepy as I was walking, like closing my eyes. I don't know, I'm just so tired. I'm not yet used to being on trail. So I'm so happy we're here. We're on a lake here. What's the lake called again? Nimpkish Lake. It's beautiful. And you can start to see the mountains now, which is thrilling. I cannot wait to be in the mountains. I love the ocean too, but I love the mountains too. This is a campsite. There's no one else here, which is a bit surprising, but it seems like we might have the place to ourselves. We're in the tent now, all set up, ready for bed. So tired. Both of us are so tired from today. And tomorrow is an exciting day. We're going to be walking on a rail grade for the first time. Very excited. I'm hoping there's going to be some cool bridges, things. So I will see you tomorrow. Good morning. We had a great sleep here on the lake and it's probably about 6 a.m. now, so we're gonna get going right away here. Brian's just finishing packing up and I'm filtering a bit more water. Today's gonna be about 25K. I've been feeling pretty good now that I've had a good rest. This has been one of the harder seasons for me to adapt to the trail once I started hiking. I think because the last job I did right before hiking season, I was finding it hard to fit in exercise. Not so much timing wise, but energy. Like I was so exhausted by the end of the day that I didn't feel like I could do something else. So it's been really good though for me to feel how that actually physically feels when I'm out here and realize, okay, I need to, I'm gonna keep doing these long hikes every year. I need to figure out a way to cross train when in the off season that works for me. And you know, there's certain things that don't work so well for me, so I'm gonna start thinking about some ideas as I go. Some road walking so far, and then this is the old rail grade, from what I can tell on the map. High grass. Tickles my legs so much. Here's the trail, or lack thereof. Let's go through. Bushwhack time. There isn't much water along our route today, so when I heard this little trickle of water, I was like, can we grab some water here? Brian was keen because it's a hot, sunny day. So we captured the water running through the moss here, and then now we're just filtering it. So I've got my electrolytes in here. Sometimes you have to be creative with what water you find. It wasn't marked anywhere. I just heard a trickle. And I was like, sounds like water. We've been on the rail grade for a while now. We have a few K left. I've had to take a lot of extra breaks today. Just feeling so tired. I've actually had 2 naps throughout the day today. So I'm still trying to adapt to being on trail. But by the end of today, we will have done like 26K. So still a pretty big day. A couple more to go. We're camping down here, Nimkish Lake, the other end. It's a long lake. As we neared the end of our hiking day, this is the furthest we've hiked in one day yet at 29 kilometers, 18 miles. My legs and feet were so tired, I was really struggling. I kept asking Brian to tell me I could do it because I needed that reassurance to keep myself focused. We were aiming for a campground and we had no idea what to expect when we got there. Sometimes I can find this mentally challenging. We had to do extra hiking down a side trail to get there, and that extra 1.5 kilometers, 1 mile, felt impossibly long, not knowing if we would find a site or not once we got there. My relief was massive when we found a little spot to pitch our tent and settle in for the night. We made it to camp. It is a rec site here, so we set up, had dinner, time to go to sleep. Tomorrow we hike into the town of Woss, where we're gonna stay at a motel and get a resupply. See you in the morning. Good morning. We slept in a bit later today. Woke up at 6, got going by 8. We were at a rec campsite, so there were a lot of people camped near us, so we just tried to be quiet and then get going. We're back on the rail grade, so the railway tracks that have been decommissioned now, and it's a beautiful rail grade. Look at all these plants along the side. And we're actually going to be on this all day for about 30 kilometers, taking it all the way into Woss. So our goal is probably to get into a good rhythm. My goal is to need less naps and less breaks today, but we'll see how it goes. Going across an old railway trestle bridge. And some of these wooden pieces are falling apart, so it feels scary. I'm not normally afraid of heights, but I'm not loving this bridge. Ooh.
How this story ends, kind and brave. I know you'll find a way.
This has been a really, really nice segment of the trail on the rail grade. It's been so cruisy and you can just get into the rhythm and just go. And we've been able to chat and yeah, it's been a really good day. And I felt way more awake today, have way more energy. So that's great. That's a good feeling. I think I'm starting to finally adapt to being out here. Crossing another trestles bridge. These things are freaky because these side pieces are so low. You do not want to lose your balance. Views from them are stunning, and I keep thinking about if they weren't here, we'd have to go all the way down into the river valley, all the way back up, and it would be exhausting. So I'm very thankful for them. But they're definitely a little scary. Here we go. This has a better side rail here. Today we walked 33 kilometers, 20 miles, along the railway trail all the way into the very small town of Woss. This marked the end of our second of 7 sections on the Vancouver Island Trail. We hiked 113 kilometers, 70 miles, over the last 4 days on this section, leaving about 590 kilometers, 367 miles, still ahead of us. I'll see you next week for episode 3 of this series. Hi guys, I wanted to add this in at the end of the video so that you don't miss out. I'm going to be hosting a group trip August 19th to 24th, 2025. It's going to be in Banff and Kananaskis in the Canadian Rocky Mountains, and it's a hiking focus trip. So it's not a backpacking trip. We'll be camping at Car Campground and day hiking on most of our days. And the longest day is going to be 9 kilometers, that's 5.8 miles. So we're not going for huge mileage. It's more about just hanging out, getting to know each other, and also spending time outdoors. So regardless of your skill level, I hope you'll consider coming. I have really enjoyed meeting some of you out on trail when I run into you, and I thought having a focused 6 days worth of time together to really connect would be a really fun way to get to know more of you. So I'll break down the itinerary a little bit for you. On day 1, you arrive in Calgary and the tour operator takes us out to our campground for the night. And then on day 2, we do our first hike up at Lake Louise, and then we do Moraine Lake in the afternoon, and both areas just look absolutely stunning. And then on day 2, we do a bike tour in the town of Banff, and then in the afternoon we have free time. So I'm planning to host like an informal hiking chat where we can talk about anything to do with hiking, but ask me questions. Maybe I can share some of my knowledge or some of the stories that don't make it into my videos. I have a lot of those. My trail name is Story after all. And then on day 4, we're gonna do Mount Norquay. So it's a Via Ferrata route. So the guide comes with us, brings all the gear we need, so you don't need to worry about any of that. I've never done a Via Ferrata, so I'm super excited for that. And then the afternoon, a grassy lake hike, about a 1-hour hike. And then on day 5, we do our biggest hike, so the 4-hour hike at Chester Lake. And then later on in the day, we head to the Nordic Spa to rest and rejuvenate. It's gonna be so nice. And then day 6 is the last day, so we have breakfast at camp, and then we get a transfer back to Calgary. I think it's just gonna be so much fun to hang out in nature. It's gonna be amazing. And then the price breakdown is for early bird price. So this is going to start on October 3rd. And if you're actually a paying member of this channel, you'll get this link 1 day early for pre-sale. But there's 14 early bird spots, and they are available for $2,195 USD or 2,969 Canadian dollars, depending on what the exchange rate is that day. And then once all the early bird spots are filled, the regular price will be for US $2,495, Canadian $3,375. And you just need a deposit to save your spot. So the deposit will be $550 US or roughly 744 Canadian. And then you need to pay off the full balance by May 2025. So I really hope you'll consider coming. I am so excited for it, and I'll be sharing more on my community tab here on my channel, but then also of course on Instagram. So if you want to follow, check that out. And if you want to get an email notification when the trip goes live, you can follow the link for my trip, which I'll put in the description of this video. Go to the page and then you can input your details. And if it's past October 3rd, you could go, when you're seeing this, you could go right away and sign up. Hopefully there's still spots left for you. Okay, hopefully see you then. See you in next week's video. Bye.